What's up, guys? This is Peter C.M. Hanna on Gemmy Master Animatronics, along with
DD_Show1.
and we decided to make, or I decided to make a video on my Shaking Spirits collection because I have almost the whole series, but not quite yet. I still have a few that I need to get, like some rare variants, and one's actually a really common one that I still haven't gotten for some reason. I just never got around to buying it, but yeah, there's all these up here as you can see, and then there's a prototype one down there which is not mine, which is going to someone else. And then I just bought that vampire from Dark Shadows Reviews yesterday.
And that one's a prototype right there.
And yeah, that ghost right there, I'll try to zoom in, is an unreleased prototype which I already made a video of on my channel, I believe. We're probably not going to be activating them in this video just because like they're all very high up and it's hard to reach the switches, and if I try to turn them on they'll probably all fall from the shaking. And that won't be good, so
yeah,
we're just going to be discussing them and like the years and variants and that sort of thing, I guess. But
well, I guess I'll just start off by saying the Shaking Spirits are based off of these two ghosts, like a black and a white one with the typical like floating ghost skull with red eyes, and there's like a black fabric one and a white fabric one. Those are as old as like 2000 or maybe even older. I'm not too sure on that. Then they made a series called Shaking Spirits, which had more characters. And that went from about 2006 to really about 2010, I believe. So they made them for a while. Maybe in 2005 too.
so yeah, those two that Donovan was just talking about were the first two technically, but they looked very different from these. Then I think it was like 2006 or 5 they came out with the concept for these with these style hands and this structure. And they had a lot of different variants. I don't know the total number, but I have most of them. So I guess I'll go through them all. Well, first we have this prototype one, which is like bigger than normal. And I guess you can talk about that as you know more about it than I do.
This was made in the year 2005, and it's actually life-size. In fact, the hands are maybe even bigger than life-size, but the head is about the size of like... nice save.
That didn't happen.
The head is about the size of a butler head, honestly. And the hands are pretty big. Like, I have big hands, and they're a little bigger than mine, probably. And yeah, that guy actually has a box down below. Which
he has
is
poles.
bigger than a Snowflake Spinning Snowman's box, but it's the same general concept. And it also comes with poles, and the way you attach it is with the battery cover. There's a second battery cover mounted to the top pole, which is very clever. It's an interesting way to do things. Obviously, we are not going to be staking this in the ground for clear reasons. But yeah, and so there's a label on that one's box. There's also a tag on the fabric of the item, and then it has a neat little button.
It came with that foam in it too when we got it.
Yeah, and it has a neat little button that's like blank with a yellow button instead of orange. And I have one of these myself that was brand new. This one was used like once or twice. But that's not what this whole video is about. So this is from 2005. So there's a...
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Here, I'll move it out of the way. So there's a chance that they were going to start making all of these that size, because there is a mummy one, like over there. That is the life-size version that had the stakes and everything. So there's a possibility that they were all going to be like life-sized, but I'm not sure. So...
But yeah, that's the prototype one. The vampire, which is probably the rarest one of the rarest of the produced ones. It's also one of my personal favorites in the way it looks. I just really like that face, and the clothing on this one's really detailed with like the black and red cloth and all that. And he has like little cape things that come up.
He has like brain monster chains on him, I've noticed.
Yeah. Then I like his hairstyle, the way that's done. Sorry, this guy's big hand is kind of in his way.
And those were distributed wholesale through J. Marcus, I believe. And I also think there's a chance that this may have been on Kmart's website, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's very scarce. Not many have ever showed up. In fact, this may be, I don't know, is this the only one that's ever shown up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we don't know too much about that one. And the interesting thing about the next one here is that the hands are actually like...
They're like 3D and not like flat like all the produced ones that have these like little flat, narrow, cheaper hands, and this one actually has like really high quality plastic painted,
I'm also
like, thicker
noticing
hands.
the things that hold the chains on compared to that are like better quality material.
Yeah.
It's interesting where they cut corners on this, even though it seems like it's really good quality. But
Then that face you don't see on anything else. That's all like one of a kind.
yeah, it's
I
a
think.
unique face. That one's also heavy too, right? Because it's made of resin.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And it has that, like, I guess you could say, like, crappy laughing soundtrack. Same thing with that.
Yeah, from the Haunted Rocks.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. I guess you can talk about.
The Top Hat Ghost Reaper, whatever it's called. That's probably another really rare one that you don't find. A lot of people like, as long as it has like the top hat and the hair, so it's kind of unique looking. But yeah, that's probably like that and the vampire here are probably like two of the harder to find ones. This one I got on eBay for pretty cheap a couple years ago, surprisingly, in pretty good condition. But I don't know what the year is on that, like 2006.
Yeah, that was probably 2007, like a year after they were making them. But
Yeah.
the most common one, it looks just like that, but the eyes are red, and it has.
And that is one I don't
tan
have,
hood.
surprisingly, even though it's like the most
Yeah.
common one.
And it has like it's like that one next to it, but it has that face.
Yeah.
And it's got red eyes.
It's got that kind of hood, but it has that face without the hat and hair.
And that's the most common one, aside from the witches.
Yeah, and then there's this dude, this generic looking skeleton with hood. He's kind of common. He's not super hard to find. But yeah, not much to say about him. He's kind of just I don't know. Is he like 2006 as well, 2007?
Probably 2007. No, I actually have a Dawn of the Dead one, which is what's next to that, but it's from 2009. And it looks kind of different, I think, from this one that you have here.
Yeah, this one I got from Johnny, and I think he was the original owner. He bought it back when it was in stores.
Yeah, and in 2009 they didn't have like Dawn of the Dead packaging, it was all just the Jimmy packaging.
Then we have the Mummy, which is also really common. I see those on eBay all the time, in local listings. I actually have two mummies. One's in the closet, but a better condition one is hung up here. But yeah, I guess, I don't know the year. I'm terrible with the years on these. I think they're all pretty much the same
I think
year.
the Mummy one was sold at Target.
Yeah.
I've seen it there. And that was sold on a card for some reason instead of a box.
And then we have the two different versions of the witches. And there's actually at least two different versions of that witch right there. There's one that has like the I guess you could say spirit ball phrases, and there's one that has different phrases. I don't know what you'd call those ones. But that one I also have. It's in the closet. But it needs one of the arms is snapped, I think. But I didn't hang it up because obviously I'm like limited on room here, as you can see. But yeah, there's two versions of that. I have both. And there's one of them right there. That one's also pretty common. You see those ones pretty often. And then you have the remake witch, which I think is like, what, 2010 or something?
Yeah, that's like one of the last ones they ever sold.
Yeah. Also, you can see the hands on that one are even thinner than the older ones.
And you can see why they kept making that one, because it's got the smallest head and the least amount of detail on it.
Yeah, and that one's like probably one of the most common ones ever.
Yes.
You see that one everywhere. But yeah, and then like I said, there's a few that I don't have. Like apparently there's a Dawn of the Dead with witch phrases, and there's like a Reaper, like that one, or like the one we were talking about that I don't have, that has that face, that guy's face, but he has that hood and has like unique phrases that are on nothing else. And yeah, I think those are. And then there's like apparently a Donna that has black cloth or something. But yeah, I have most of the common ones already, and I have one prototype one. Oh, and also I forgot I don't have the Ghastly Gentleman one in this video. I just realized it's in my room.
Yeah.
But I believe that's everything.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next review.